there such thing as a baddie if everyone is apparently a baddie now? And has being a baddie lost its value overall? Well, we're about to get right into all that in today's video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Toni Bryanne, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing how the baddie aesthetic has lost its value. But before we get into today's video, you guys know I love to start off every video with a little bit of positivity, so let's first start off with the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is, "I am full of positive thoughts from the moment I wake up." Today's verse of the day is Timothy 2, chapter 1, verse 7, and it reads, "For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." Please make sure you guys are following me on all my social media platforms. I'm available on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter as well. I never mentioned Twitter, but I am on Twitter with the same exact @name. Also know that this channel is also a podcast. You guys can listen to me on all audio streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. If you'd like to stay in the loop with me and know a little bit more about my personal life, I am on TikTok and Instagram at Toni Bryanne TV. That is where you guys will see like my little thoughts of the day, my outfits of the day, and little vlogs that I do throughout the day. And of course on Instagram, just cute little flicks of me that I like to take when I'm out and about. And if you guys want to see longer form content of me that's personalized, that is on my vlogging channel called Toni Talks TV. All these will be linked down below and also linked here. And yeah, I believe that is all today's housekeeping. Please be sure you guys subscribe to this channel, like, comment, share. YouTube is suppressing the crap out of my content. I'm trying my hardest to be patient, but it has been a long road. It's been like 6-7 months of them suppressing my content very, very clearly. I don't even know how this video will do, but it is what it is. I'm in the talks with YouTube executives right now because it makes absolutely no sense. But please be sure you guys subscribe to my channel. I'm so tired of saying we're on the road to 300,000 subscribers because at this point, it seems like we're never going to reach it because YouTube is playing. We should have hit this probably last year, but enough with all that. I'm not going to sit here and give you guys my sad story. I'm happy to be here. I love and I appreciate the support so much of all you guys that are already here. But without further ado, guys, let's get straight into today's video. Taking you in this moment. Look around. It seems as if everybody is a baddie now. Scroll on Instagram, scroll on TikTok, scroll on even Twitter. All you see are women that are absolutely stunning and beautiful. And it's not a unique beauty. Everybody kind of and sort of looks exactly the same. The baddie aesthetic once symbolized confidence, beauty, even a little bit of rebellion. Think of Marilyn Monroe and when she wore that very low dress. What is that dress she wore? It was in a certain movie. But people like Marilyn Monroe, she would be considered a baddie because she broke barriers and broke the standard of things. Think of Lil' Kim, think of Nicki Minaj, think of Beyonce. These women literally exuded these things. And what made them so beautiful, or what made them a baddie, was the fact that they were all unique in their own way. However, today, it has almost become a uniform of what the baddie aesthetic is. I mean, think of it. When y'all think of the baddie aesthetic, with me saying the word or the phrase baddie aesthetic right now, you guys probably have the exact picture in your head of what you would deem and consider a baddie in today's world. Eyelash extension, filler, Botox, filters on your pictures, the same poses, the same outfits, the same lips. Everybody looks exactly the same. And quite frankly, I would say regardless of race too. But the thing is, everyone looks absolutely stunning and amazing. I'll give you that, okay? They all look good. However, they don't exactly look special. And why is that? Well, because everyone is bad. What once felt very empowering now feels overproduced and overdone. And it's almost as if everyone is chasing the same exact validation and chasing the same exact likes, the same exact attention. And it is so exhausting to see. Once a girl hits 15 years old, she's on her way to wearing wigs and lashes and trying to stand out on social media. And next thing you know, you have a little mini carbon copy of the baddie aesthetic. There's just a very clear lack of individualism that is almost, might I say, boring today, no matter how beautiful these women are. If you guys remember clearly, we used to always have an it girl of the time. Think of Paris Hilton. Think of Angelina Jolie. Heck, even Jennifer Aniston. Beyonce, Rihanna, Megan Fox, Ariana Grande, Halle Berry. Women who defined the current beauty standards. And as you can see, all of these women looked different. They had distinct personalities, distinct styles, distinct looks. And from what we could tell at the time, they were all natural. So it was all naturally themselves. And that's what people loved about them the most. It didn't feel as fabricated as it does today. We were able to see the beauty within these women, not just on the physical level. But now, there is no clear it girl, okay? It's almost as if everybody is kind of an it girl. Okay, can we just take a second to appreciate how beautiful these flowers are? This is my Rose Forever bouquet, and I am absolutely obsessed. These are real roses that last an entire year or longer. Yes, real roses that never die. Rose Forever is this luxury floral brand based in New York that handcrafts each arrangement using preserved roses and vegan suede or velvet boxes. They come in all kinds of shapes, colors, and sizes, so they're perfect for literally any vibe, from romantic to aesthetic home decor as I have them. And right now is honestly the best time to grab one because Rose Forever's early Black Friday sale just started. You can get up to 40% off site-wide right now. Then starting November 20th through the 27th, discounts go up to 50% off. And on November 28th, they hit a massive 60% off depending on the product. But here's the best part. My audience gets an extra $20 off on top of all those discounts when you use my code ToniBryanneTV at checkout. This is the first and only time this year Rose Forever is allowing discount codes to stack with sale prices. So don't wait, this deal is actually crazy. These make the perfect holiday gift, anniversary surprise, or even just something nice for yourself. Click the link in my description box. It'll take you right to their bestsellers page, and don't forget to use my code ToniBryanneTV for that extra $20 off. Trust me, this is one of those gifts that feels luxury without having to spend a fortune. Have y'all ever clicked on somebody's page and they had 1 million followers, but you've never heard of that person a day in your life? Yeah, that is literally what I mean by that. Everybody is almost famous, and it might be because we have access to each other a lot more than we did back then. Like before, there was no such thing as an influencer. You were either a celebrity or just a common everyday person. But now with influencing on the rise, people can become their own celebrity within their own community that they build online from all across the world, and you may not even know them. So with everyone trying to be their own personal it girl, everyone is kind of using the same blueprint, so nobody stands out. Think of the biggest TikTok stars. Think of your Alex Earls. Think of your Avery Woods. Think of Aaliyah's face. Kyra Hamonique. I think it's Kyra or Kira Hamonique. Now, all of these women have the it girl look, but in different formats, okay? But the thing I'm trying to express and trying to give to you guys is the fact that the it girl format that is selected by someone that is trying to aspire to be an it girl, they copy that same exact formula. And what's crazy is all these formulas, though different aesthetics kind of, it still gives off soft glam and soft girl and soft life. But among all of them, they all are incredibly similar in terms of how they live their lives. Look at their lifestyles. They all have the same gorgeous and beautiful apartments. They all have the same furniture that's beige and white and black. They all have the monochromatic styles. They all have the same hairstyles. They're all getting Botox. They're all getting fillers. They're all going to Pilates. They're all working out. They're all fit. They all fit into the same exact box of what an it girl in 2025 standard is. So though they all look different, the formula is the same, which once again shows that there is no it girl.
I truly think that there is a creative originality epidemic. Every single day on this app, every single person's having the same day, grabbing a matcha, wearing the same mock neck sweatshirt, waking up in the same pajamas, going to TJ Maxx, going to Home Goods. And I love doing those things, don't get me wrong, it's part of girlhood, but like every single day, everyone's doing the same damn thing.
Even when social media first began and was on the rise, there were distinct it girls or distinct online personalities that stood out among the rest. We had Jenna Marbles, Shane Dawson even though he's not one of the girls, but I'm naming him. Bethany Moda, Tila Dunn, dare I say, Jackie Aina. All of these people were very unique in who they were, and I think they catered to that. We were able to see influencers that had different backgrounds. I remember being on YouTube and you can find couples channels, you can find comedy channels, you can find lifestyle, you can find the beauty gurus. But now it's almost as if everybody posts the same exact content. You rarely see people in pop culture. You rarely see people in commentary. You rarely see people doing comedy skits and sketches that are massive and higher up on the totem pole. I mean, look at all the girls that go on brand trips. They are mainly carbon copies of one another. You're not really going to see a comedy influencer on a brand trip. You're not really going to see a commentary creator on a brand trip. I think I gave you guys this story before. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember once I went to this TikTok event. I forgot who they were collaborating with, but this was like over a year ago. And we all were introducing ourselves to one another, all of the creators and influencers that were invited to this said event. And the question was, what do you guys do for content? What is your strategy? When I told y'all every single girl around that table said lifestyle and beauty, every single girl did. I was like, so everyone just does the same exact thing? Everyone is following the same formula? And then it got to me, and of course I was the oddball out, which everybody thought was really cool because I think when they see me phenotypically, they would assume I do lifestyle and beauty content. But I said, oh, I do commentary and I'm a YouTuber. I'm not a TikToker. Because even being a YouTuber now is not considered the cool thing to do. TikTok is the cool thing to do right now. But they're doing all the same things because they see that that exact format of doing that content of the top girls, which all are basically the same people, just in different fonts, are doing it. So they're just going to copy that because they want that same exact success. They want to get invited to the events. They want to get invited to the brand trips. They want their content to go viral. So they're all going to copy one another, which automatically will start making content all boring, dull, and redundant. Well, now let's talk about something that isn't old, boring, or redundant. Holiday shopping. And trust me, I know, usually that's the last thing any of us want to think about, but this one is actually good. The countdown is on. Holiday shopping season is officially here. Uncommon Goods takes the stress out of gifting with thousands of unique, high-quality finds you won't see anywhere else. Don't wait, the most meaningful gifts get scooped up fast, and now's the perfect time to cross names off your list. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US. A lot of them are created by independent artists and small businesses, so the gifts feel personal, not mass-produced. The thing that genuinely stopped me in my tracks when I was scrolling through the website was this gorgeous, gorgeous charcuterie board. Now, it is still on the way, but I cannot wait to show you guys this charcuterie board when it's here in person. I will be hosting Christmas this year, so I want to be able to present little snacks and treats for my guests that are coming over, aka my family, before dinner is officially ready and served. And this charcuterie board is perfect for that occasion. So imagine you getting this for your loved one that loves to host, along with a long array of other things that your loved ones may really be into. Uncommon Goods literally has something for everyone. Moms, dads, kids, teens, book lovers, foodies, gardeners, whoever. So if you need a good gift idea, they've got 1,000. And when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting small, independent creators. A lot of the items are made in small batches, so if you see something you like, you better grab it before it sells out. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. And to date, they've donated more than $3.1 million. So don't wait, cross those names off your list before the rush comes. And to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/Toni. Once again, that's uncommongoods.com/Toni for 15% off. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Now, in terms of beauty, there is this term called the Instagram face. And once again, same as I said, the baddie aesthetic. What do y'all think of when you think of the baddie aesthetic? What do y'all think of when y'all think of the Instagram face? And they kind of tie in together. So the Instagram face is a blend of the fox eye, the lifted eyebrows, the Botox, the fillers in the lips, the fillers in the cheeks, the under eye filler. What else do people get? Just any form of cosmetic enhancement procedures done in order for them to look like the baddest on the gram, okay? Even the influencers that say that they're natural, they all follow the same exact formula. They edit their pictures the same. They do the same exact trends. They're all the same. And now with surgery and once again, Botox, fillers, Ozempic, and even buccal fat removal, which I don't know why young women are going ahead and getting that when it ages them 20 plus years. But regardless of that, with all of these things now becoming so accessible to the common everyday person, the barrier to looking like that girl or the baddie has disappeared. Because the irony is, if everyone can buy their beauty or buy their good looks or buy that ideal physique, because the girlies are getting their bodies done too, and all these other cosmetic procedures that helps you to sculpt your body and make you look like the baddest on the gram and the baddest on TikTok, with all that being accessible and being reachable to the everyday person, that beauty and that physique starts feeling rare. So when people see it, it's not as exciting to see, especially when you're in major cities. Like, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's so funny because I'll go to the clubs or I'll go to the bars. I'll say mainly the clubs, and you'll see these women. These women are beautiful, okay? Do not get me wrong. I will always say these women are beautiful. But what I will say is you can tell when they have enhanced their looks, whether that's their body or their face or both, to look good for Instagram, okay? I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it just all looks perfectly great for the gram, but not the best for real life, okay? Like, they don't look bad, like they still look good for real life, but it almost looks uncanny how they look in person, if that sounds right. I hope I'm explaining that correctly. But regardless, everyone looks the same. Everybody looks so similar. Like, you go in the club, everybody's a carbon copy of one another, okay? And I almost find it hilarious to see, because it's like, y'all almost shopped in the same exact closet, but it is the case. Everybody is shopping on the same websites. Everybody is getting the same hair. Everybody is getting the same lash extensions.
Anybody else find it a little scary how everybody literally looks the same, from the BBLs to the lashes to the weaves to the makeup to the outfits? Like, it's really starting to get a little scary. And don't get me wrong, a lot of stuff is cute. Like, I've been seeing people do the bows on the hair trend or whatever, and I got me some bows that I really do like that style. But y'all not even trying to switch it up and do different stuff with it. Y'all literally copying the exact same outfit as other people. I'm talking about from the little puffy skirt to the Adidas Samba sneakers to the bows to the dresses. Like, y'all can't switch it up and do it a little different or something. Like, I don't know, like, the way I feel like the internet is and how we all just adapt so quickly and we just hop on the trends. It's like, damn, be yourself. Like,
when one person says, y'all, we're done with this, we're not doing the overly done up eyelashes, which I'm kind of glad people stopped doing. We're now doing cat eye. We're now doing the D-curl, or what. I don't even know how these things work because I don't get lash extensions. But they're now doing, I think cat eye is like a really popular one. Or they're doing classic lashes instead of hybrid in volume. When one person says we're all doing this, everybody copies. When one person says, oh, we're no longer doing long nails anymore, we're now going to do short nails because that's classy and that's what's in. Everybody does the same thing. At one point, everybody was getting white toes. That was like the big thing, getting polished on your white toes. And then one day, I guess somebody said, hey, we're all doing French tip on our toes, and now everybody gets French tip on their toes. Like, it's so interesting to see, and I think why it infuriates me a lot when I see everybody following the same exact trends is that it almost makes it feel like if you were one that has always liked a style, like, for instance, me, I always say I love French tips since I was a little girl. Literally, when I lived in New York, I went to, I think the salon was called, what's it called? Diva Nails. If y'all remember Diva Nails, I think Diva Nails still exists today. But my mom took me to get my nails done and I wanted French tip. Okay? And girl, I went and got French tip done, and the rest is history. I have been rocking French tip forever. You can ask my sister. She gets annoyed with me because I've always done French tip. Every time I get my feet done, or when I would do my feet myself because I didn't have funds to go and get my feet done, I was doing French tip. And now French tip is trending, and I'm like, I know for a fact everybody's probably thinking like, oh, this girl's copying everyone else because French tip is popular. But yeah, so that's probably why it annoys me too. So I'm like, I'm not a monkey see, monkey do type girl. Now, I'm not going to say we don't all get influenced to trends to a certain extent. No, ma'am. Do not get me wrong. I know that for a fact. But it is interesting when you see every woman seemingly loves Pilates. Every woman seemingly now loves pink. Every woman seemingly now loves to get short eyelash extensions. Every woman seemingly now likes to get sew-ins, quick weaves. They like to wear Lululemon. They like to get French tip done. Did I say French tip already? They love pink blush. It's like, wow, where is the individualism? I think what was so interesting at the time, or even now, why I love women that are like more alternative, especially those black girls that are alternative and they're into different makeup looks. They like to try things that are outside of the box. Is so beautiful to see because everybody does copy one another. And I think when you decide to step outside of the norm, it almost makes you commendable. It makes you look cool. So I love that about people like that. So when I say the baddie aesthetic has lost its value, I say that because the baddie aesthetic is almost oversaturated. It is an oversaturated market. If everyone looks perfect or if everyone looks ideal, perfection stops being impressive and it's no longer a standout. I mean, y'all all say, wow, why are all these beautiful, successful women single? Well, when men have their picking of the litter where every woman is beautiful and every woman is quote unquote successful or appears to be, yeah, there's going to be a tougher dating market because all of these men have an ample amount of opportunities to date these women.
We see way too many baddies at once nowadays. Like, you're scrolling through TikTok, baddie, baddie, baddie.
Like, you're desensitized to seeing a baddie,
right? Because, like, we see so many baddies every day on TikTok and Instagram and shit like that. But back then, like, in the whole village, there was, like, one baddie, which to today's standards is, like, a 6 out of 10. But back then, like, one baddie in the whole village, like, that was the one that all the dudes would go for. But now, it's, like, everyone's, like, so bad on, like, TikTok and Instagram, and we see all of them.
I mean, we all aren't supposed to be perfect. We all aren't supposed to be baddies. We aren't all supposed to be what society deems as beautiful. I think everybody has a partner for everybody, okay? So when someone is considered, I hope this does not sound toxic, but I did see a TikTok of a guy say this, and I completely agreed with what he said. When he said it, I was like, that's so interesting to hear. And I hope I can find it. But if I can't find it, what he said in the video was, it's okay to be average, okay? Not everybody can be a baddie. He said, like, literally the human race, average is supposed to be what average and attractive is supposed to be what attractive. If you look at it at a logistical standpoint, okay? Average doesn't mean ugly, once again, you guys. I want to be very clear about that. That does not mean you're ugly. But the point is, everybody is supposed to technically have somebody. But when a woman who is enhancing her natural features to look more beautiful or enhance her beauty even more, she no longer thinks that she belongs with the average Joe. So with her no longer being equipped to the average Joe, she now is marketing up her value. So with her marketing up her value to an already small dating pool of people that are quote unquote naturally beautiful, that makes that crowd a lot more crowded. So all those women that are naturally beautiful, then comes up the enhanced beautiful women or the manufactured beautiful women. They're now all around too, and then you have the men. Men don't ever have to try for anything. So when you think of beautiful women, you think of them getting with men with high status, with money, or even the good looks, whatever. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. But they now see, and I'll say even the average ones, because the average ones with money, they also want beautiful women. They now have quite the picking, okay? Because there's so many women. You have the natural beauties, and now you have the enhanced beauties, and that's why no one can find a man. That's what he was saying. And I found that to be so interesting, but I was like, I never thought of it like that. And maybe y'all might think I sound problematic when I say it, but hey, this is a commentary channel. Y'all can get what y'all get, okay? But I can see what he means by that. Average doesn't have to be bad. And he said even below average isn't necessarily bad. There's somebody for everybody, but if everybody wants to look like the same person, the baddie aesthetic is losing its value. So one thing I've been doing lately, especially with everything feeling chaotic online, is finding ways to pour back into myself. And honestly, Masterclass has been one of my favorite ways to do just that. I've been using it as a way to learn, grow, and honestly just feel inspired again. I love that with Masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best. And the classes really do make a difference. Like me, personally, I've been following Shonda Rhimes, the producer and screenwriter of the show Grey's Anatomy and Scandal. There are over 6+ hours of video lessons of Shonda Rhimes teaching you her playbook for writing and creating hit television. And as you guys know, I script and write every single one of my videos, so it has been super helpful in crafting and coming up with ideas on my channel. You also have people up here like Serena Williams teaching her skills and how she plays tennis, and a multitude of other activities, skills, and assets you want to brush up on. And the best part is how easy it can fit into anybody's routine. With unlimited access to over 200+ classes and thousands of short bite-sized lessons, you can literally turn your morning routine, your commute, or even getting ready into learning time. Plus, you can listen in audio mode or download classes to watch offline, which is absolutely perfect if you're traveling or just want to disconnect from scrolling. And y'all know I absolutely love a good deal. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. So head over to masterclass.com/Toni Bryanne for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at Masterclass. Go to masterclass.com/Toni Bryanne. And I already briefly touched on this, but what's even worse to me is that the baddie aesthetic is affecting the youth, the young girls. Kids are no longer getting to be kids anymore, okay? There's no awkward phase. There's no bad fit. There's no just being a kid that's gawking and getting excited over the boy band and just being a child. The 12-year-olds are now contouring their face and putting on lashes, and they're taking over Ulta. I just was in the store the other day, and this 7-year-old maybe is going into the lip gloss section, the same section I'm in, and she's talking about what is her favorite lip gloss to her mother, like, oh, this is my favorite one, and putting it in her basket. I'm like sitting here, you know, I'm all for little girls trying to get into makeup and playing in makeup, but there's play makeup for children, okay? I'm sure you can go on Amazon right now and look up makeup for 7-year-olds, and you will find a play kit that's not NYX or it's not Morphe or MAC. But no, these little girls are going into adult stores for grown women, and I would say even teenagers. Actually, I take that back. Not even teenagers, because quite frankly, I believe teenagers need to be in Target and Walmart selecting drugstore makeup. But that's besides the point. But these little girls are in these grown adult stores picking and selecting makeup and talking about what is their favorite when they should be playing in mommy's makeup bin, maybe, because they don't have anything for them, okay? Their role models are no longer Disney and Nickelodeon stars. When we were growing up, and even our parents, and then our parents' parents were growing up, we always had kids to look up to and aspire to be. Speaking for myself, I'll be 25 in a month. The celebrities we had was Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, Selena Gomez, we had Victoria Justice, Ariana Grande, Miranda Cosgrove. We had all these shows and sitcoms that were really popular where these girls would then go on tour because they were so popular, and they acted like kids. The most we would see is like a 15 and 16-year-old kiss, which I would say is pretty normal when they are starting to date. We were not overly exposed the way kids are today. Now, we were beginning to be, and it's funny hearing our parents say that we were overly exposed because we had a little ounce of social media back then. Now the kids today have the whole social media world at their fingertips by the time they're 5 years old. But the kids today have Sexy Red, Danielle Bregoli, Alabama Barker, and Piper Raquel, and they're watching streamers. They're watching Kai Cenat. They're watching DDG. They're watching Deshae Frost. They're watching all of these grown men and grown adults. And I won't say Alabama Barker is a grown adult because she is very much so in the same box, being impacted by the adultification of children, and as well as Danielle Bregoli, but kids are still looking up to her and watching her. But these kids are watching these streams of overly sexualized girls going on and twerking, and they're sitting on these guys' laps, and this is what they're watching all day, okay? Please, if you're a parent, watch what the heck your kids are watching, because these kids are watching these streams. I don't think it's grown adults watching these things. I'd be very terrified if I knew a grown adult was watching other grown adults party and hang out with girls and drink. I think that's a little odd. I'm assuming it's children. At least I hope it is. I hope it's not adults. But they're sitting there, they're watching this and they're consuming this. And then we wonder why these kids want to grow up so darn fast. All of these brands are built off of hypersexuality. So what the kids are watching, they're watching people being overly freaked out, overly sexualized, overly vulgar. They're seeing all this right before our eyes and their eyes. Girlhood is completely skipped, okay? There's no longer a girlhood, okay? Girlhood goes straight to glam and trying to be grown up. And this is what we saw when we see Alabama Barker, who is now 19. I think she'll be 20 this year. But we watched her for the past 7 years before she even hit 18 years old, trying to grow up too soon too. So she fits in this box perfectly. So with them trying to be baddies so young, once again, we don't see the evolution of a young girl becoming a woman. We're jumping from baby to baddie, and that is a problem. And that leads once again to the baddie aesthetic dying, because it's almost the expectation that you're supposed to be a baddie when you're 15, 16 years old. Turn on any reality TV show. Everybody is overly filled, overly plumped, overly stuffed. It's very rare you see natural beauty on reality TV anymore. Think of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. A lot of those women have clearly gotten Botox and fillers, and some of them look completely different than they did a few years ago. So they're all transforming their faces to become baddies. So these little girls that are watching these shows when they shouldn't be are looking at these women like, wow, I want to look like that. Little do they know, those women don't even look like that naturally. Those women are going to get work done in order to have those same enhanced looks and beauty so they can be a baddie just like you're aspiring to be a baddie. Think of Love Island. Almost every single girl that came on that show, especially this most recent season on Love Island USA, clearly had some form of work done. Think of Iris. Iris was super pumped up. Her lips were huge. Sierra, her lips were huge. Huda, her lips were huge. Body's done. We have breast enhancements. We see liposuctions that have been done. We see BBLs. Same with Love Island UK. I remember last season, everybody was saying how old those women looked. Like, they clearly got so much work done because they're chasing the dreams and the goals of becoming a baddie, which kind of bit them back in the butt and made them look a lot older than they're supposed to be looking. But it's because everybody is searching for perfection, and in doing so, they end up harming themselves and harming their own minds. So with that being said, we are losing individualism, and I think that makes me the saddest because I feel as if being individual, being your own person, creating your own identity is one of the most cherishable things that we have to offer on this planet. The only thing rarer than beauty right now is individualism. With everyone trying to be carbon copies of one another, we are no longer going to be able to experience the differences of one another. And I think the difference is what makes us more multifaceted individuals. I just pray the next it girl isn't the prettiest girl, or isn't the baddest, or isn't even deemed as the it girl, I guess. I hope she's the one that's just different, because confidence hits a lot harder when it isn't you trying to be like the next girl. But I of course want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys believe the baddie aesthetic has lost its power? Do you think that the baddie aesthetic still exists? What are your thoughts? We have so much to discuss in today's video. I feel like this is definitely a topic that can have a very much so deep dive on what the baddie aesthetic truly is. I want to know what you guys think. So let's get the discussion on in the comments down below. Thank you all for all your love and support. I cannot wait to hear all your thoughts in the comments. Remember to always be respectful, but also be honest. I love and I appreciate you guys so very much, and I will see you all in my very next video. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.
Taking you in this moment, come get close like you own it. Read your aura, you want more of all this love, you'll be your name. Release all